After a long day of work, I told myself that I really wanted to work on speaking. After so many years of being in law enforcement and now being in a leadership role, I had seen so many people that were not the best of communicators. On this particular day, I said, you know what? I'm going to try something new and I'm going to really and truly work on my communication skills. I took the courage because I'm naturally an introvert, although in 2024, people say I'm more of an extrovert, but I took my introvert personality and I said that I was going to build myself up. I drove to this organization that I had not known much about, but I heard that they can help me become a better communicator. I walked in, they were very welcoming, they were very excited to see me, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. And then all of a sudden, during the very first meeting and time I was there, they said, do you want to go give a speech? And I told myself, I didn't come there to come speak. I came there to observe. Needless to say, after 4 to 6 minutes, I had given my first presentation ever in a Toastmasters organization, which was my icebreaker. And it was truly my journey to being a Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I want to walk you along a few benefits of being in this organization. Not a lot of people know what we do, but I can tell you, as being a distinguished Toastmaster, being a 2-time VPE, being a 2-time president, and being an area director, that this organization has shaped my life. And it's been essentially 3 reasons why. 1, because I have learned how to actually be a skilled presenter. There's a lot of people out there that think they know how to speak, but as you go through the Toastmasters program, you realize that there's a lot of nuances to speaking. The second part is the purpose of why you should become a speaker and why you should stay in these organizations as long as you can. And then finally, there's a business side of speaking that Toastmasters helped me really revolutionize, that has allowed me to be who I am today. Now, what I didn't say early on during my story was this was in February of 2016. It was not autumn, but it was a very nice time to have the weather in my favor. So let's start off with the skills of speaking. Being a distinguished Toastmaster, you learn there's a lot of different things you have to look at when it comes to speaking. First and foremost, there's this thing called the power of the pause. And I just did it to make sure you guys knew what I was doing. But for me, I am a naturally fast talker. I was born and raised in Miami. And for all my natives to Miami, you know we naturally speak fast. For me, learning the power of the pause really helped me because stuttering, overlapping words, mixing up sentences was an everyday thing for me. So when I was able to get into this Toastmasters role and learn some of these things, as far as like, you know what, Michael, maybe you should take a break when you're speaking, I was like, you know, this is a really good idea. Now, in my everyday conversation, when I'm not speaking, there's still a lot of stuttering that goes on. There's still a lot of opportunities for me to mix words. There's a lot of opportunities for me to say things that are kind of how Oli said, say things that I shouldn't, but in presentations, I learned to pause. Next is organization. While that may sound simple, the fact that Toastmasters taught me, 1, how to have an intro, followed by 3 main points, and in conclusion, changes everything. There's a lot of people that we know right now that will just start talking and we don't know when they're going to stop, when they're going to end. We don't know what they're talking about. For me, Toastmasters taught me, Michael, go in there with the purpose of speaking, not just talking. The next thing is storytelling. Storytelling has taken me nearly a decade to figure out. First and foremost, I'm a direct speaker most of the time. I just want to tell you what's going on and I just want to get to the point. But what I realized is through the power of storytelling, it brings you into that moment. It gives you the opportunity to say, you know what? I can feel being there. The next part, and I think Catherine hit it on the point during her presentation just a moment ago, is recognizing communication style. All of us are different. None of us should try to mimic someone we have seen or heard or thought that we knew was good, because when you try to mimic someone else's style, it never comes out authentic. It's never genuine. So for me, learning that part of speaking, like, okay, Michael, where are your strengths at? It helped me to develop that. Now, let's move on to the second part. The purpose to spread a message. One of the best parts about speaking and learning how to speak is all of us have really good stories to tell. And through my journey as a Toastmaster, I have learned and had the opportunities to not even speak as a business, but speak in different associations like yours. And there's always one thing that you always learn or develop. And when you know you spread your message, you really help people out. For example, one of the things that I have learned to talk about a lot is the story of my mother. And back when I lived in Miami, we always struggled. And then we finally got to the point to where I had 2 jobs, so I wasn't struggling as much. And I was able to not just work at a KFC, Taco Bell, but also at a Blockbuster Video. I don't know if any of you remember Blockbuster Video, but if you lived in the North Miami area and you came over to Biscayne Boulevard about 135th, you would have probably seen me. That's another presentation in itself. But during that time, when we were kind of getting on the right path, I had learned that my mother attempted to commit suicide. And when I've been able to spread that message through learning how to do storytelling, how to pause, how to communicate, basically from Toastmasters, it has changed so many lives. It changed my life. It changed my mother's life. It changed people that I see on a daily basis. So part of being that Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, however we want to word it, it really allowed me to spread a message. And then finally, the speaking side, or excuse me, the business side of speaking. People always ask me, because I will tell you all, and I don't know in each of your professional industries, but when you say you're a Toastmasters or you're going to take time out of your day, for example, from 12 to 1 to work on speaking, people usually probably give you that weird look like, how much can you do paying $60 every 6 months to learn? And what I can tell you all is, and this is not me bragging, I make, give or take, anywhere from $2,500 to $7,500 speaking for an hour. And that just really varies. And you know where it started? It started right here. It started in Toastmasters. So can you make a living out of speaking? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Is it just good to just start doing something in Toastmasters? Yes. So I tell people that think they're good speakers that haven't done Toastmasters, I said, you know what? Go challenge yourself. Go to a Toastmasters club and get real feedback from real people like all of us in this room and in the Zoom channel, because you can make a business of speaking, but you have to start somewhere as far as skill development goes. And from my journey as a Toastmaster, that's what I really learned. So in closing and closing out this opportunity that you all have given me today, being in Toastmasters has been life-changing for me. It has allowed me to work on my ability to speak. It has allowed me to spread a message, and it has allowed me to have a business. I know one of the things Rakita mentioned earlier is that she wants to travel. As a speaker, which is by my choice, I travel anywhere from 1 to 3 times a month. I was in South Carolina this month, or I guess last month at this point. I was in Missouri. Even when I went to Serbia, I did some speaking. So you can do whatever you choose to do as a Toastmaster, and that journey that may seem tough right now, and I know you guys are saying, how do I get to where I'm at? It starts here. But part of the process is getting through it and understanding that you cannot be a great speaker overnight, but through time, you can and will do it. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.